Ladies and gentlemen, my name is SuddenlyNinja, and you're watching a brand new episode of Indie Beginning. This week we're taking a quick little look at a game called Black Ice by a man named Garrett Cooper, but I want to put out a little disclaimer beforehand because this game is very flashy with a lot of bright neon colors and rapid movement, so if you're sensitive to that sort of thing, you might want to skip this one video. Right, with that out of the way, let's take a look at Black Ice. Black Ice is something of a niche game, I feel, because it's really unique in the way that it presents itself. It's a really simple game to learn, but the way the game is built in its later stages ensures that there is never a moment of boredom or confusion, because it's very clear from the beginning what you're supposed to do, and everything you do from then on leads up to that moment. Now, I might be going a little bit fast here for those of you who are not already familiar with the game, but Black Ice is a game about hacking, and it's an interesting mix between a first-person shooter and an RPG where you increase your skills and you level up and you get new weapons and all that. Only this is very fast-paced and it will seriously challenge your FPS skills, and honestly, I think that the people who play a lot of first-person shooters will have a slight advantage here because they're used to things like quick aiming and dodging and all that. Basically, Black Ice puts you inside a computerized city where the buildings represent servers you can hack and the mobs you need to defeat are like the firewalls and the anti-hacking countermeasures that try to stop you from hacking. Now, obviously there's different levels of servers to hack, and the higher the level, the more difficult the enemies that it spawns will be to shoot. Now, this is an interesting mechanic to me because in the starting area, you are immediately presented with like the final building, which has a level of like 500 or so basically impossible to defeat at that stage, but it gives you an immediate goal to work towards, and even when you're training and you're getting better weapons and leveling up, that huge final tower is always looming in the background, always reminding you why you're here, and I like that element that needs to progress and to upgrade. Upgrading is fairly simple. Again, this game is a mix of FPS and RPG, but the level system is not that complicated. You earn a bunch of experience by shooting enemies, and when you have enough, you gain a level, and a level point, which you can then spend on upgrading things like health, or speed, or weapon damage. It's all pretty basic stuff though, nothing groundbreaking, and nothing new if you're somewhat familiar with role-playing games. The weapons, however, is something that Mr. Cooper obviously spent a lot of time developing. There is a metric ass ton of weapons in this game. There are so many different weapons in Black Ice that I doubt you'll ever see all of them, even if you play through this game multiple times. Now, don't expect all the different weapons to act completely different as well. Again, there is some pretty basic stuff in there, but all the weapons go either pew pew or boom or swoosh, but it's the names and the added effects that makes them different from each other, because at one point I was running around with a quick firing shotgun that set enemies on fire and it slowed them down, and I was seriously tearing through enemies for a good amount of levels before I traded that for something else, so I honestly really enjoyed that. So having played it for a good couple of hours, I think Black Ice is certainly worth the $10 you need to shell out for it. I mean, if you're anything like me, then you will enjoy running around in what is basically the Tron universe, hacking buildings and going Call of Duty nuts on bright neon spiders. One tiny point of critique that I feel is justified is that the enemies were sometimes a little bit difficult to make out from the background because literally everything is neon, but that only adds to the fray, so I'm going to say that that is intentional and by design. Black Ice is available on the Steam Early Access program right now for about $10. That is all for this episode of Indie Beginning. Stay tuned for a new episode every Friday. If you like this preview, you would be doing me a huge favor by sharing it with your friends on Facebook or Twitter or whatever you crazy kids are using these days to talk to each other. Or you could simply leave a nice comment below this video. I'll make sure to try and respond to every single one of them. My name is SuddenlyNinja. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.